back on the telly for a new series, Undercover Big Boss.
Boss.
What determines a big boss?
Wage packet.
Yes, probably. This week's episode features a man in charge of car dealership group Bristol Street Motors, Robert Forrester. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, you're a Shropshire lad, aren't you? What happened? Where were you born? Where did it all start? Tell us.
I went to school pretty well throughout in Whitchurch in Shropshire, junior school, and then Sir John Talbot's, of which I'm now a trustee of the Marches Academy, despite the fact I actually live now in the northeast of England. So yes, I am a Shropshire lad, and my family have been there about 1,000 years, I think.
And do you come back much?
I do, because we've got a lot of dealerships around the country. My mum actually lives in Ellesmere, so I combine business by popping in to see her, and she makes my tea.
So then how did you get from there, Sir John Talbot, to owning one of the biggest car dealerships in the UK?
Well, I don't own it. It's a quoted PLC on the London Stock Exchange, but I founded the company with a group of people in 2006. We started from scratch, actually, and then decided to buy dealerships. So we bought Bristol Street Motors in 2007, which was 33 dealerships. And this morning we've got 154. So we're the fifth largest in the UK with about 3.8 billion turnover, 6,000 employees. So it's been quite a good ride, really.
Gosh, that's a heck of a responsibility. Do you carry that well?
I do, actually. Yes, I enjoy what I do. It had its moments, in fairness, during the pandemic. There was one day where, having built the business, we closed it down within 48 hours and put over 5,000 people on the furlough, which was something I would never like to have to do again, I can assure you. But no, ordinarily, pandemics aside, I enjoy the job.
Now, during the pandemic, lots of businesses struggled, had a hard time. But you bought 30 new dealerships during the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, we're blessed with not having any bank debt. So we own a lot of our properties. We've got lots and lots of assets. So we were not really worried about going bust. Having said that, in April and May 2020, we actually managed to lose £20 million, which was unfortunate because obviously we were closed. But we obviously took the opportunity to identify businesses that were perhaps not in such good a state and decided to go and buy them. And bought quite a lot of businesses, actually, and some really nice businesses that we're now in the process of improving.
So how did this Undercover Big Boss thing come about?
Well, actually, we were approached by the production company who work for ITV. Bristol Street Motors is obviously a big brand, actually, particularly in the Midlands, but across the country. And they wanted a brand that was recognisable. And we thought, well, it's an opportunity for me to take 2.5 weeks out, go and actually see what the business is actually about. I mean, I do go around the dealerships all the time. I spend most of my life travelling, but they know I'm coming most of the time. So it's a chance for me to go and actually see what the world was really like, particularly having been, locked up during the pandemic. I felt I hadn't been around the business as much as I ordinarily was. So it was a good chance for me to go and see people. And clearly, it's good for the company in terms of profile and getting the name Bristol Street Motors, despite the fact it's been around for 100 years, only 44% of the UK population know it.
So where did you go undercover then?
Oh, I went all kinds of places. We actually started in the city I live, which is Newcastle upon Tyne, which was bizarre because I thought of all the places in the world that recognise me as here. But then we got down to Gloucester and Aylesbury and Nottingham and all kinds of different places. We had one night in Ellesmere, actually.
Oh!
So they did some filming with my mother in Ellesmere, which was very nice. So, yeah, Shropshire does feature.
Do you? I know you had the persona of a history lecturer looking for a career change. Did you do that in the same? Is that same role in every dealership that you went to? It was. I mean, I'm a geography graduate from Oxford University, so it was relatively easy to sort of go back to my academic roots, albeit I didn't choose geography. What an atrocious wig! That was truly awful.
Well, I do have a story about that wig, because it's actually quite a famous wig. It is actually the wig that Benny Hill wore in the Cagney and Lacey sketch in the 80s. And actually, I have it in my office. And one day I looked underneath it, and there it was, Benny Hill, Cagney.
Now, you've never sold a car in your life. You had to sell cars. How did you get on?
Well, it was quite difficult because I was pretending to be a history lecturer from Aberystwyth. I mean, actually quite tricky, because if I express too much knowledge, they rumble me. And if I didn't expect any knowledge, I looked like I couldn't sell cars. So we'll never know, is the honest answer.
We haven't got much longer with you, Robert, unfortunately. But did anything surprise you, and what did you learn?
I learned that we've got some absolutely brilliant people in the business, but a lot of them lack the confidence to progress their careers. It was my big learning, actually.
Did you enjoy it?
I did, yes. It took me a day or two to get into it, but once I realised what it was about, it was good fun.
So you're going to be changing things and encouraging your staff to go for their careers then?
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, every night I did a download and we had a 2-hour board meeting to go through the things I wanted to change. So it was a proper exercise.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Robert,
absolutely.
Look forward to seeing the dodgy wig, the Benny Hill wig, on Thursday. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Take care. That's Robert Forrester. He's on this week's episode of Undercover Big Boss on ITV1, 9 p.m. on Thursday.